Kylian Mbappé, an incredible striker.
Here is his story, that of a young boy who grew up in one of the most dangerous places in France and became the best striker in the world. Mbappé was born in France in 1998. His father is from Cameroon and his mother from Algeria, and he had a huge advantage at birth. His family was extremely athletic and passionate about sports. His mother played in the highest handball league in France, and his father was a football coach. But there were also problems for little Mbappé. He grew up in Bondy, a suburb of Paris that was not always safe. But Mbappé only had eyes for one thing: football. At the age of 6, he went to AS Bondy, the local football club where his father was a coach. And no one could believe their eyes. This kid was faster, more skilled, and scored more goals than any other boy his age. He quickly became one of the most promising talents in France and was accepted into the elite French football academy Clairefontaine. They have been able to produce players like Henry or Anelka. And now, the big clubs have their eyes on him, including his favorite club, Real Madrid. Mbappé was obsessed with Real Madrid when he was little, especially with Ronaldo. I mean, look at his childhood room. Even his celebration was copied from Ronaldo's. And when he was about 11 years old, something magical happened. Real Madrid took him to Spain so he could train with the under-12 team. And he met his idols, Zidane and Ronaldo. But Mbappé's parents were not convinced about the relevance of a transfer to Spain at such a young age. So Mbappé stayed in France. Instead, he went to a club where he saw the best potential for his development, AS Monaco. The club had just recruited Falcao and James Rodriguez and aimed to compete for first place in France. 2 years later, in October 2015, Mbappé was called up to the second team, but the head coach of the first team was so impressed by his skills that he called him up to the first team 3 weeks later. On the 2nd of December 2015, the moment had come. Mbappé made his professional debut. He had not... only 16 years and 347 days. On February 20th, 2016, he scored his first professional goal. Mbappé signed his first professional contract, a 3-year contract with an annual salary of about 1 million euros, negotiated by his agents, his parents. Over the following months, the forward secured a place in the starting 11 and became one of the best players in the French Championship. Monaco had a good season in the French Championship and internationally. In the knockout phase of the Champions League, there was an important match, Monaco against the powerful Manchester City, and everyone knew this would probably be the end of Monaco in the tournament. We are at the first leg match, the score is 1-1. Mbappé scored his first goal in the Champions League, but the joy was short-lived. In the end, Manchester won the first leg 5-3. On March 15th, 2017, the two teams face each other again in Monaco, and Mbappé gives it his all from the start. 0 at the 8th minute, but they needed more goals to qualify for the next round. Fabinho scored 2-0. That would be enough to eliminate City from the tournament, but then... Sané scored a goal that would be sufficient for City, but only a few minutes later. Monaco scored again to make it 3-1, and the two matches combined were now 6-6, and Monaco advanced thanks to the away goal rule, and Mbappé was on cloud 9. He also scored tons of goals in League 1. And another match awaited him in the Champions League quarter-finals, this time against Dortmund. The first match in Dortmund ended with a score of 2-3. Mbappé scored 2 goals. The return match took place on April 19th, 2017, and in the 3rd minute, the next goal of the talented forward. The match ended 3-1, and Monaco qualified for the semi-finals. The next opponent would be Juventus, and everyone was sure that Monaco could beat them too. The Italians win both matches and eliminate Monaco from the tournament. The young Mbappé, 18 years old, was devastated. Nevertheless, the 2016-2017 season was full of success for him. He scored a total of 26 goals in 44 matches, and as Monaco won the French Championship. He did it at only 18 years old. His success was also noticed by the French national coach Didier Deschamps, who started Mbappé in early 2017 during the match against Luxembourg. He is now officially a French international. Everyone wanted him now, and Real Madrid tried their luck again, and Mbappé was considering moving there. But Ronaldo, Benzema, and Bale were the attacking players at the time, so they were not guaranteed to be in the starting lineup. On August 31st, 2017, he decided to change clubs to Paris Saint-Germain. They had already signed Neymar from FC Barcelona for a record amount of 222 million euros during the same transfer window. To avoid UEFA financial fair play sanctions, Mbappé was transferred on loan until the end of the year 2017-2018. PSG then had an option to buy him for a total transfer fee of around 180 million euros, which would become the second most expensive transfer in history, and he was only 19 years old. Everything seems to be going wonderfully, but it's not easy for him. At first, he had trouble adapting to PSG's style of play. In Monaco, they played on counter-attacks, so he had a lot of space, but at PSG, the defenders were always on their guard. Nevertheless, he managed to score in his first game. He continued to score and netted a total of 21 goals during the 2017-2018 season. Paris Saint-Germain won the French championship, but Mbappé was knocked out by Real Madrid in the Champions League. However, it was in the summer of 2018 that he experienced his greatest success. World Cup in Russia, and Mbappé was named to the French team at the age of 19. He was in the starting lineup, and France achieved the incredible. They went all the way to the final against Croatia. It is the 15th of July 2018. France took the lead thanks to an own goal. But Croatia managed to score in turn. Both players Griezmann and Pogba scored. The score is now 3-1. Croatia fought hard, but Kylian Mbappé entered the scene. He is the first teenager since Pelé to score in a World Cup final. And France did it. They became world champions. The following season, Mbappé intensified again. He scored 39 goals in 43 matches. He won the French championship again and became the league's top scorer for the first time. But Paris failed once more in the round of 16 of the Champions League. This was supposed to change the following year. PSG made a run and reached the final. But in Lisbon, they lost to Bayern Munich and Mbappé was devastated. But it was during the summer of 2021 that he experienced the biggest low of his career. PSG had just lost the title race against Lille, so Mbappé wanted to prove himself in the European Championship. France finished first in their group ahead of Germany and Portugal. During the fast knockout match, he faced Switzerland in Bucharest. Switzerland scored the first goal in the 15th minute, but France managed to score 3 goals. Switzerland scored another goal in the 81st minute, but victory seemed certain for France. But in the 90th minute, incredible. Switzerland managed to qualify for extra time, and after 30 minutes, the score was still 3-3. Penalty. The score was 4-5. Everyone had scored, so Mbappé had to take this shot. Yann Sommer stops the shot. Switzerland knocks France out. And Mbappé, the French superstar, was the scapegoat for an entire nation. The following season, he helped PSG win the championship title and was once again the top scorer in France. And he seemed ready to move to the next step, to his favorite club as a child, Real Madrid. They made a lot of efforts to attract him and a deal was reportedly already reached. But at the last second, he decided to stay in Paris. He was offered a deal he apparently couldn't refuse. 72 million euros per year, plus a signing bonus of 180 million euros, plus a loyalty bonus for each year he stays. He thus became the highest paid professional football player in the world, until Ronaldo decided to go to Saudi Arabia. But one thing was clear at this point. He was one of the best in the world, and he wanted to prove it in the winter of 2022, during the World Cup in Qatar. Once again, France reached the final to face Argentina, led by Messi. And Mbappé did what he always does, he scored. 3 goals plus 1 converted penalty. But all that did not help, and France lost against Argentina led by Messi. It's rare to see a player as talented as Mbappé. He's the complete forward. He's incredibly fast, has fantastic technique and an unbeatable shot. What do you think? Is he the best forward in the world right now?